Do you know Mali is a landlocked country? A nation that is fully surrounded by land and does not have any access to the ocean is said to be landlocked. At the present time, there are 45 landlocked countries and 5 states that are only partially recognized across the globe. If you want to plan your next trip to Africa, please visit flightstoafrica.net to grab the best flight deals to Africa. The Niger River runs through the middle of the country and is the main trade and transportation route. Parts of the river flood from time to time, giving farmers much-needed fertile soil along its banks and giving livestock a place to graze. Mali is one of the biggest countries in Africa, but its population is not very big. Most of the people live along the Niger River. The Bambara ethnic group and language are the most common, but people from other groups, like the Fulani, Dogon, and Tuareg, are also there. Agriculture is the most important part of the country's economy. Cotton production, cattle and camel herding, and fishing are some of the most important things that people do in this sector. Before Europeans came to Africa, the area that is now Mali was part of the Ghana, Mali, and Songhai empires. Timbuktu, a legendary city in the upper Niger River in Mali, used to be a trading and learning hub, but it is now no longer important. For hundreds of years, caravans from North Africa crossed the Sahara Desert, while others came from the forest areas in the south. They met in Timbuktu, which was at a crossroads. Other notable towns include Djenné, noted for its famous mosques and other examples of Sudanese architecture, and Mopti, a bustling market center. The Dogon region, which is in the middle of the country and centered on the Banji-Ajara escarpment, is a popular tourist spot because of its unique cliffside villages and rich artistic life. Bamako, the national capital, is on the Niger River. It is a city that is growing quickly because more people are moving there from the poor rural areas. Land. Mali is surrounded by Algeria to the north, Burkina Faso and Niger to the north, Côte d'Ivoire and Guinea to the south, and Senegal and Mauritania to the west. Relief. Mali's landscape is largely flat and monotonous. You can tell the difference between plateaus and plains, which are crossed by the Niger and the Senegal, two of Africa's most important river systems. The highland areas are small and don't connect to each other. The plateaus in the south and southwest are about 1,000 to 1,600 feet above sea level. However, the Menindingwe Plateau near Bamako and the Sanodogo Plateau are both higher than 2,000 feet. Soils and drainage. Mali's drainage system is made up of the Senegal and Niger rivers and their branches, with the exception of a few small streams to the northeast. On its way to the Atlantic Ocean, the Senegal system flows northwest across western Mali for about 420 miles. One of its main sources, the Bakoui River, starts in the Fouta Djallon. Another, the Bafing River, starts further to the east. The two rivers meet at the Bafoussam to form the Senegal. Before leaving Mali, the river continues to flow northwest and then west around the Menindingwe Plateau. Falls at Guina and Fellou break up the flow of the river along the way. About 2/5 of the total length of the Niger River flows through Mali. This is a little more than 1,000 miles. It starts at the Fouta Djallon and is a big river by the time it gets close to the Kangaba. It flows northeast across the Menindingwe Plateau. Falls and a dam at Sotuba stop the river's flow. When it gets to Kolokoro, it forms a wide valley and flows majestically to Mopti, where it meets the Bani River. The Niger then flows into an interior delta, which happens because the land is flat and the river has almost no slope. As the river flows north and then east at Kabera, it splits into a network of branches and lakes. At Buram, the Niger River makes a big turn to the southeast. This is called the Niger Bend, and the river flows past Gao and Ansogo on its way to the border with Niger at Labazanga. Niger River. The Niger flow changes with the seasons. From July to October, the upper Niger has high water. From September to November, the delta has high water, and from December to January, the bend has high water. The Niger Valley is an important place for farming because it floods often and has rich alluvial soils in the central delta. Climate. Mali is in the intertropical zone. It has a hot, dry climate, and the sun is almost always at its highest point. There are usually 2 clear seasons, dry and wet. From November to June, the dry season has low humidity and high temperatures. From March to June, the harmattan, a dry, hot wind that comes out of the Sahara and comes from the east, whips up dusty whirlwinds and brings daytime temperatures of 104 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. From June to October, when it's rainy, the monsoon wind comes from the southwest. Heavy rainstorms are often accompanied by gusty winds, a lot of lightning, and thunder. Large, dark clouds often come before them. In August, when most of the rain falls, the weather is a bit cooler. There are 3 types of weather in the country: the Sudanic, the Sahelian, and the desert. About 1/3 of the country, from the southern border to 15 degrees north, has a climate like Sudan. Ethnic groups. In Mali, the idea of ethnicity is not fixed. Some people marry outside of their ethnic group and speak a different language than their ancestors did, but they don't change their cultural identity. In other cases, though people's identities do change, especially when they move within Mali and learn Bambara, which is the most common African language spoken there, still there are a few big groups that can be seen. Imazigh and the Arab-Spanish Amazigh group, called Moors, who speak and write Arabic, live in the Sahelian zone and north of the Niger Bend. The rest of the population is made up of many farming groups, some of whose members come from the ancient empires of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. The largest group is the Bambara, who live along the upper Niger River. The Soninke live in the western Sahelian zone. They're related to the people who started the Ghana Empire. The Songhai live in the Niger Valley from the Geni and Ansango, while the Malinke live in the southwest. The Songhai are the people who carry on the traditions of the Mali Empire. The Dogon live in the plateau around the Bandiagara, and the Bwa, Boho, Senefu, and Minianka live to the east and southeast. The Fulani used to be nomadic herders who lived in the Shal and the Masina area southwest of Timbuktu. The Tukulor, the Kansoki, and Bozo, and the Simono are also important groups of people. Even though some Tuareg and Fulani are still nomads, most of them now live in permanent villages. Languages. Mali's official language is French, but most people speak languages from the Niger-Congo family. One of them, Bambara, is used by about 80% of the people as a common language. The most people speak Mandi languages, which include Bambara, Malinke, Kasonki, Wasalunka, and Soninke. However, there are also people who speak languages from the Gurur branch, which includes Bwa, Moor, Senufo, and Miniki, and from the Atlantic branch, which includes Fula and Tukulor, and may also include Dogon. Mali also has a few different kinds of Semitic languages and Songhai, which is its own language. Both the Moors and the Tuareg speak and write Arabic, but the Tuareg have also kept their traditional Amazigh language and their own writing system, Tifinagh, which comes from ancient Libyan. Along the Niger River, Songhai is spoken. Religion. 3 main religions exist. More than 90% of the people follow Sunni Islam. Most of the rest follow traditional religions, and a small number of people follow Christianity, mostly Roman Catholicism and Protestantism. Islamization began in the 11th century, and most Soninke, Songhai, Moors, Tuareg, and Fulani no longer practice their traditional religions. Traditional African religions are practiced by many Gur-speaking people, especially in Dogon, as well as by some Malinke and Bambara. Even among Muslims and Christians who have changed their religion, many old beliefs, still hold true. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.